In the busy and noisy world we live in, many people often feel lost and unhappy, either for a short time or for a long time. This can happen due to various reasons, like your job, family, health, or even if your favorite dog-themed crypto token crashes. When we feel confused or lost, we often look for someone or something that can give us guidance and wisdom to help us through difficult times. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is a book that offers a valuable source of Stoic philosophy. It has helped countless people over many years in their own personal development. This old diary contains the ideas of a wise and thoughtful person from the past. It shows that this person understood a lot about being human, our role in the world, our focus on ourselves, and how we should behave towards ourselves and others. The Meditations is a book written by Marcus Aurelius, who was a Roman emperor. It is a collection of his personal thoughts and ideas. This book is very important in the field of Stoic philosophy and is widely recognized as an important text. This collection of writings was never meant to be shared with the public. It is the private thoughts of a man who was dealing with the responsibilities of ruling an empire and facing his own mortality. These writings contain a lot of valuable advice that is still relevant in our world today. If something outside of you makes you upset, the pain is not because of that thing itself, but because of how you perceive it, and you can choose to change that perception at any time. In this book, we can see into the thoughts of a leader who wanted to improve not just his own life, but also the lives of the people he was in charge of. In our fast-paced and constantly changing world, Marcus Aurelius' wisdom provides a helpful solution to the aspects of our culture that harm our thoughts and put our stability and peace at risk. His ideas are still useful and show us how to appreciate the current time, control ourselves, and develop inner strength. We will explore the human spirit, guided by a wise philosopher from history, and come out of the experience feeling refreshed and enlightened. As always, the easiest way to understand Aurelius's work is to read the book, but I will try my best to explain it briefly. The art of self-reflection. When you start reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, you will immediately notice how easily he reflects on himself and expresses his thoughts. Self-reflection is a quality that makes up the core of his thoughts. Being able to honestly look at yourself and understand your strengths and weaknesses is really important for becoming a better person. No matter where we come from or who we are, it helps us understand our thoughts and emotions by showing us what is happening inside us. In this part, we will talk about how self-reflection is important in the Meditations and how we can use it in our everyday lives. In Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, he constantly talks to himself to understand his own thoughts and feelings. The Roman emperor wanted to learn more about himself and figure out how to improve himself by going on a journey of self-reflection. It's hard to improve without understanding what we have. His writings show that he knows himself well and wants to become a better person. Marcus Aurelius thinks deeply about how people behave and why they do certain things. He looks at his own thoughts and actions to understand how they are influenced. By reading his work, we can learn how to do the same things for ourselves. As we keep reading the writings of Marcus Aurelius, we might think about how we can include the habit of thinking about ourselves in our everyday lives. Here are a few ways to incorporate this classic art into our everyday lives. Make sure to allocate some time. The first thing we need to do is set aside a certain time every day to think about ourselves. Whether it is in the morning while having tea, during a walk at lunchtime, or in the evening as you relax after your day's tasks. By following a set pattern of activities regularly, We create a special place in our lives for thinking deeply about ourselves and improving. Write down your thoughts and reflections in a journal, similar to how Marcus Aurelius recorded his thoughts in the book Meditations. Doing this practice helps us solidify our thoughts and also shows us how we have grown as individuals over time. Try practicing mindful meditation. It can help us reflect on ourselves by observing our thoughts and emotions without judging them. When we become more aware of ourselves, we can better understand and manage our thoughts and feelings. Find time alone. In our world where we are constantly connected, it can be hard to find moments of peace and being by yourself. However, it is during times when we are not moving or doing much that we can really connect with our inner thoughts and feelings. Make sure to set aside some time to be alone, whether that means going for a walk in nature, finding a quiet spot at home, or taking a short break from work. If we take the time to reflect on ourselves, like Marcus Aurelius did, we can experience significant personal growth and learn more about ourselves. When you wake up in the morning, remember how special it is to be alive. Take a moment to appreciate being able to breathe, think, enjoy, and love. Embracing the dichotomy of control. As we continue to read through Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, we come across one of the most important and long-lasting ideas in Stoic philosophy, the idea of control. This idea, often linked to Epictetus, is about understanding the difference between things we can control and things we cannot. When used the right way, this helps you live a calmer, more empowered life where you have control over yourself. In this part, we will learn about what Marcus Aurelius taught about controlling things and how we can use this wisdom in our lives today. You can control your thoughts, but not what happens to you. Understand this, and you will discover power. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius keeps saying that it's really important to understand what we can and can't control. He shows us that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. By learning to concentrate on what we can manage our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we set ourselves free from the burden of concern and anxiety that usually come when we try to control things we cannot change. This separation of control is a very important part of Stoic philosophy. It helps us live a calmer and more in control life. In our busy and always changing world, having control over things can help us feel better and less stressed when things are uncertain. Marcus Aurelius and the things he taught us can help us change how we handle difficult situations. This can make us feel more confident and calm. Here are a few real-life uses of the idea that some things are in our control, while others are not, to think about. When faced with challenges or problems, try to focus on the things you can control, like your attitude, how hard you try, and how you respond. When you do this, you can turn a difficult situation into a chance to improve and gain knowledge. Maintaining relationships. When we communicate with others, there are times that challenge our patience and ability to be kind. When we understand that we can't make others do what we want or feel how we want them to, we can concentrate on how we react instead. This helps us to be more understanding and caring towards others. When things are unclear or changing, it can be tempting to believe that we have control over the situation. We may find comfort in this false belief. However, if we understand that we have limitations and cannot control everything, we can develop the ability to adjust and bounce back from challenges. This will help us navigate unfamiliar situations with ease and calmness. Take control of your emotions to improve your overall well-being. When we take full responsibility for our own well-being and work to have positive thoughts and habits, we can make our emotions more balanced and satisfying. Understanding and accepting the difference between what we can control and what we can't control helps us become more peaceful and in control of ourselves. We can learn from the wisdom of the Stoics and their philosophy to achieve this. Cultivating inner resilience and adaptability. Being able to bounce back from challenges and adjust to new situations are key factors in growing as a person. Resilience means being strong and calm when faced with difficult times, without letting them take over us. Adaptability means finding better and smarter ways to do things. In this part, we will use what we have learned from the meditations to discover how to become strong and flexible on the inside. We will also discuss methods for becoming more resilient and adaptable when dealing with difficult situations. Building inner strength and flexibility. In the meditations, Marcus Aurelius shares many helpful ideas about how to become mentally strong. He tells us to accept that change will happen no matter what, and that the ups and downs of life can help us grow and learn. When we realize how strong we are on the inside and understand that the world always changes, we get better at dealing with life, even when we don't like what happens. This means having a mindset that is open and willing to change. By doing this, we can escape from the limits of inflexible thinking and the pain caused by not being able to accept a change in our situation, happiness, or being in a good mood, without needing anyone else's assistance, or the calmness and peace that we get from others. Developing the ability to bounce back and adjust in tough situations. When we read Marcus Aurelius' writings, we notice patterns in how he views difficult situations. We can learn these lessons from these trends. Accept change. Change is a natural part of life, and if we welcome it instead of avoiding it, we can become more adaptable. Understand that every change, good or bad, gives you a chance to grow and learn. Try looking at yourself and thinking about how you can improve. Self-reflection is a useful tool that helps you grow as a person. By taking time to think about ourselves, we can figure out what we are good at and what we need to improve on. Then, we can come up with plans to become stronger and more adaptable. Practice being thankful. Being grateful can help us overcome difficult situations by allowing us to concentrate on the good parts of our lives, even when things are tough. Try your best to be thankful every day and see how it can change your way of thinking and how strong you are. Look for difficult things to do. When we actively look for challenges and accept the uncomfortable feelings they may cause, we become better at being strong and adaptable. See every problem or difficulty as a chance to learn and improve, and you will notice that your inner strength grows and develops as a result. Have a mindset for growth. A growth mindset means seeing challenges and problems as chances to improve oneself, instead of thinking that abilities are fixed and cannot be changed. When we see challenges as opportunities to grow instead of things that make us give up, we become more flexible and able to bounce back from tough situations. The pursuit of wisdom and virtue. The Stoic principles help us become wise and live a good life. They guide us in our journey to become better and find true happiness. In this part, we will talk about why wisdom and being good are essential in Marcus Aurelius' philosophy. We will also learn how we can work on developing these qualities in our own lives. The key to happiness in your life relies on the type of thoughts you have. So be careful and make sure you don't have any ideas that go against being good and reasonable. In the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius talks a lot about how important it is to seek wisdom and be a good person as the most important things in life. A lot of the Stoics thought that being a good person was the most important thing in life. They believed that being good was the key to being happy. Aurelius thought that having these qualities would not only make him happy, but also make him a better ruler. Wisdom, in the Stoic way, means understanding how the universe works and where we fit in it. Virtue means following the good values that help us think, speak, and act rightly. The four main virtues are wisdom, justice, self-control, and bravery. Marcus Aurelius believed that wisdom and virtue are not only things we think about, but they should also be a part of everything we do, and we should work on them for our whole lives. When we start using these things in our everyday life, we follow the best beliefs of Stoic philosophy and move closer to what the Stoics called eudaimonia, or living a fulfilling life. He said, "Have a happy and meaningful life." If there are gods who are fair, they won't care about how religious you've been. Instead, they will accept you based on how you have lived a virtuous life. If there are gods who are not fair, then you should not want to show them respect and admiration. If there are no gods, then when you die, you won't exist anymore. However, if you live a good, honorable life, the people who love you will remember you fondly even after you're gone. So, how can we actually incorporate wisdom and goodness into our everyday lives? Seek knowledge and understanding. Actively try to learn and grow by reading, talking about things, or trying new things. By learning more and expanding our knowledge, we become wiser and gain a better understanding of the world. When we try to be more objective, we can see the world as it truly is, rather than letting our opinions and biases affect our perception. Think about what is right and wrong and how it shapes your life. See if your beliefs match with Stoic philosophy. By developing a strong sense of right and wrong, we create a path for a life built on goodness and honesty. Try to understand and care about others. Being a good person also means learning to understand and care about others. Try your best to understand how others think and feel, and be nice and understanding when they need something. Embrace self-discipline. Being wise and virtuous is not something that just happens. It involves being disciplined and determined. Practice behaviors that encourage self-control, like regularly thinking about yourself, being aware of the present moment, and striving for important objectives. This list doesn't include everything, but it can help us to be more like Marcus Aurelius by seeking wisdom and goodness as we grow and learn about ourselves. When you feel down, think about the good qualities of the people around you. One person may have lots of energy, another might be humble, and someone else might be very generous. It feels really good when we see people around us who show virtues and we are surrounded by them. It's important to remember this. Nurturing compassion and empathy. Another important part of Aurelius' philosophy is to have understanding and concern for others. It means being kind and caring towards others, which helps us to build strong relationships with one another. In this part, we will explore how we can learn from Marcus Aurelius and become more caring and understanding towards others. We will also discuss ways to improve our relationships with the people in our lives using Stoic principles. Accepting impermanence and change. As we keep reading Marcus Aurelius' meditations, we come across the deep wisdom of accepting that things don't last forever and that they can change. These basic parts of life set the stage for how our lives play out. They encourage us to let go of trying to control everything and instead go with the flow of how things naturally happen. In this part, we will talk about how impermanence and change are important in Marcus Aurelius' meditations. We will also give tips on how to find peace when life is uncertain by accepting that everything is temporary. I hope that the lessons mentioned earlier will help to show the worth of the meditations. I strongly suggest getting a book for yourself and reading it. I have done my best to simplify the words, but the original material contains valuable advice that can benefit those interested in learning about Stoic philosophy.